Thomas Frank's to-do list, a look at Son's future, and could Mbeumo choose Tottenham after all? Here are your daily Tottenham news headlines. Hello, my name's Craig and here are your daily Tottenham news headlines. Let's get into it. An article in The Independent discusses Thomas Frank's early priorities at Tottenham. It says point one should be to restabilise the dressing room. Frank inherits a squad still emotionally attached to Ange Postecoglou. Players like Son Heung-Min, James Maddison and Mickey van der Ven publicly paid heartfelt tribute to the Australian after the Europa League victory. However, Frank's renowned man management skills are expected to help him quickly forge his own bond with the team. Point two, decisions on senior players. Chairman Daniel Levy's comments suggest that potential player sales to fund new signings, key figures like Son in the final year of his contract and defender Christian Romero could be moved on. Frank is likely to be centrally and strategically involved in these calls. Point three, bring in Champions League experienced recruits. While the previous manager focused on youth development, e.g. Archie Gray, Lucas Bergvall, Frank signals the need for more seasoned players, especially those with experience at the highest European level, to support and mentor younger talent. Point four, building on Brentford's success. Frank earned this opportunity after leading Brentford to overperform in the Premier League with a limited budget. Though fans will miss Postecoglou's attacking flair, they appear receptive to Frank, understanding he often starts slowly, his early records at Bromby and Brentford including slow beginnings. The takeaway from all this, Thomas Frank stepped into a charged environment at Tottenham, benefiting from strong player support, but faces tough calls on loyalties, contracts and transfer strategy. His initial focus, unify the squad, resolve futures for key players, recruit seasoned talent and replicate his efficient pragmatic style at a much bigger club. Football.London reported earlier this month that Son himself is also more open to a move than he ever has been before, having finally made history by lifting a European title as captain of the North London club. The attacker has admitted to Korean media ahead of the Europa League final last month that he had remained at Spurs in previous years because he wanted to do something others hadn't done. Now, Son is a legend in the club's history books if he wasn't already, and what he has done for Tottenham over the past decade with 173 goals and 101 assists in 454 appearances means he should be able to decide what comes next for him. In just 18 days' time, Son will turn 33 and both he and the North London club will reach a crossroads in their long journey together. Son still has the ability to play at whatever level he wants. That could yet be at Spurs with Champions League back on the menu next season. While it is the last chance for the club to get a sizable fee for the man who remains their most marketable name. Football 365 are reporting that Manchester United have submitted an improved bid for Brentford star Bryan Mbeumo, but may miss out on the forward as there's now a good chance he will choose Spurs ahead of the Red Devils. They saw a bid of £45 million plus $10 million in add-ons rejected by Brentford for the 25-year-old earlier this month, but were confident of wrapping up the deal with Mbeumo, keen on a move to Old Trafford. Thomas Frank's move to Tottenham threw a spanner in the works as the Danish boss wants to bring Mbeumo with him from Brentford, and it was claimed on Thursday that Spurs are still in the running as Chairman Daniel Levy works with Frank to rebuild the squad ahead of the season in the Champions League. TBR Football understands that Eberechi is a player who is back on Tottenham's agenda as Thomas Frank likes him. The 26-year-old is one of several options the Lily Whites are looking at as they hope to sign a winger who can start with Son expected to leave Tottenham. The Crystal Palace forward has a £60 million release clause in South London, which could rise to £68 million depending on his performances. Frank has confirmed to club officials that he also appreciates the winger, with Tottenham having been after Eze since at least 2019 when he was playing for QPR. However, Spurs could face competition for Eze, as TBR Football has learned that Aston Villa and Arsenal are also considering entering the race. Well, here's my thoughts on all those stories. Firstly, the report in The Independent about Thomas Frank's to-do list. I think this is a really, really good report, actually. The point one on restabilising the dressing room, it was clear. We all know that a lot of the players, well, most of the players were, you know, they felt linked to Ange Postecoglou, and the fact that Ange got them over the line, I think they're going to feel that connection for a long, long time. And they obviously didn't want Postecoglou to go, a lot of these players, but now they've got to get on board with Thomas Frank and his management style, a new team around him. So that's going to be huge for Frank to get involved in that and get the players on side quickly. And the point too on senior players, I think that's going to be key as well, like with Son and Romero. I mean, it looks like Romero's probably going to stay, hopefully now. You'd think that Thomas Frank will want to keep Romero around. Who knows how it's going to go with Heung-Min Son? Could Thomas Frank want to keep Son at the club, or will he be keen to let him go, or at least not mind letting him go because he feels perhaps Son is coming to that point in his career where he's earned the right to choose? Is that what's going to happen with Son? We'll wait and see. Bringing Champions League experience recruits, 100%, absolutely. We've got a load of youth, but we've said on the channel for months and months we need more experienced Premiership players to come through the door. That is what big clubs do. That is how big clubs think, speculate to accumulate, spend the money, and you'll get the players in. Building on Brentford's success, absolutely. Limited budgets at Brentford. And let's face it, with all due respect to Brentford, he did overperform with Brentford. You know, the players he had there, you'd like to think the Spurs squad is a better group of players than at Brentford, but they finished higher than us in the league and did exceptionally well. Yes, they've got some great talents like Mbeumo and Wissa, but Thomas Frank's got to bring that mentality. And I think that for me is the key, is the mentality. Now Spurs have got that winning mentality. We got over the line and we finally won a trophy. Thomas Frank has got to build on that and everything that Ange Postecoglou put in place. And that's what he hinted at in his club interview, that he's building on Ange Postecoglou's success. And this charged environment they speak of, absolutely, absolutely. We need to do more to unify the squad, as they say, and pragmatic style at a much bigger club. Yes, he can replicate that in certain games. And that's what I think we're going to get with Thomas Frank. We're going to see that blend of, rather than it's just gung-ho football all the time, he's going to adapt. He's going to adapt in game. Football.London reporting about Son. This has been widely covered. We all know about the position with Son, but I thought I'd talk about it again. When you look at it, 173 goals, 101 assists, 454 appearances. This guy should have a statue at Tottenham, whatever happens. If he wants to go, let him go, and go with all our love, because this guy is an absolute legend. Some would say more than a legend than Harry Kane, to be fair. He's actually won something with Spurs. And look, Sonny is an absolute gentleman. He's a professional. He's not going to say anything more. He obviously loves the club, so whatever he wants to do, let him do it. Football 365 reporting about Bryan and Mbeumo. Again, this transfer keeps rattling on. Obviously, United, I thought United were going to land this one for Mbeumo. Would have been gutted. I love the player. But, you know, it seems to be that he could be swayed. Has his head been turned now that Frank's come to Spurs? I really hope so. I love Mbeumo, but that's what we need to do. We need to think like a big club and get these big players in. And Mbeumo, and the final one here, Eze. You all know, if you've listened to the channel, you all know what I feel about Eberechi Eze. Absolutely fantastic player, and he is the sort of player we need to get in this transfer window. But, you know, make a statement. Sign Mbeumo and Eze. And get any other big name players in, experienced players with Premier League experience, or players that have been there and done it. We need this in the team. And then bringing the youth through as well. What a blend that could be in the future. Anyway, get down in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are on today's video. I'll see you on the next one. Come on, you Spurs.